Little Boy Crying is the name of the poem we're doing today. Mervyn Morris is the poet. I am Jamain Hatton, and today is the 25th day of June 2017. As we may know, Mervyn Morris is Jamaican. He is currently a professor at the University of the West Indies. He is described as a supreme poet of every day. Most of his work is on a personal level. He writes about memories from his childhood. In fact, they are fragments of his autobiography. His first anthology, his first collection of poems, was named The Pond. He describes in The Pond intimate and fearsome drama within the family, showcasing paternal love and punishment. You know, the Caribbean is well known for corporal punishment. In fact, our parents would say corporal punishment or spanking is what holds the family together or keep the children in the home. Uh, let's go straight into the poem from our Jamaican laureate. Little Boy Crying, Mervyn Morris. Your mouth contorting in brief spite and hurt. Your laughter metamorphosed into howls. Your frame, so recently relaxed, now tight with 3 year old frustration. Your bright eyes swimming tears, splashing your bare feet. You stand there angling for a moment's hint of guilt or sorrow for the quick slap struck. The ogre towers above you, that grim giant, empty of feeling, a colossal cruel, soon victim of tale's conclusion, dead at last. You hate him! You imagine chopping clean the trees, scrambling down, or plotting deeper pits to trap him in. You cannot understand, not yet, the hurt your easy eyes can scald him with, nor guess the wavering hidden behind that mask. This fierce man longs to lift you, curb your sadness with piggyback or bullfight, anything, but dare not ruin the lessons you should learn. You must not make a plaything of the rain. So the poem Little Boy Crying, we see a series of words that show change at the start there in the first stanza. Contorting, metamorphosed, relaxed. Your mouth contorted, so it means that the mouth changed, the mouth was twisted from its normal shape. And then it goes on to say, with in brief spite or hurt, telling us how the twisting of the mouth was as a result of the boy feeling spite or feeling as though he was hurt. And it says here, your laughter metamorphosed into howls. This is an example of zoomorphism. Zoomorphism. It's a device that's not very popular in terms of, I don't think it's mentioned at all in the CXC English syllabus. But it's the opposite of personification. We know that personification is giving human qualities to non human. With zoomorphism, it's actually giving qualities of animals to anything that's not animal. And in this case here, we see that this boy's laughter is being characterized or being compared to the change of amphibians. You know that amphibians undergo metamorphosis. As a result of that, they're saying that the boy's laughter changed in such a way as if he was now becoming an amphibian. And they're saying howls, so it metamorphosed into howls. They're going on there. We can take, don't worry with this big zoomorphism. Take it to mean metaphor. Let's say that they're comparing indirectly the boy's laughter to howls. Alright? So let's take it that there. Don't worry with that big word, zoomorphism. You probably would never even see it in an exam anyway. Your frame, so recently relaxed, now tights, showing us that the boy was once happy, was once normal, and then now he all tight up, and his 3 year old frustration was as a result of that. So he was angry at the father for doing something that he thought was wrong. Then they go on to show you a series there of imagery, bright eyes, swimming tears, splashing. angling and all of that, showing you how this boy felt or how he responded while he was being punished. So he was slapped. That was the punishment. We don't want to say flogging necessarily, and but they're showing you here as a result of that slap what happened. Uh, he was crying. There were so much tears, and as a result of that, he's reflecting on what the guilt or sorrow was. Now, that guilt or sorrow is the wrongdoing that resulted in the slap, and we will get on to see later on what that guilt or sorrow was, what that wrongdoing was. And we're seeing the slap struck. That there is an example of what we know in the Caribbean as corporal punishment or flogging or a good cut tail. So the boy was slapped by his father. Really good writing there from Morris. Now we see Morris's wry sense of humor. I don't know how much you know about Grimm fairy tale. Well, everybody should know about Grimm's fairy tale. It was a popular thing back, in the days. You know about Jack and the Beanstalk. You know about little Three Little Pigs. I'm sure you know about Little Red Riding Hood and all of that. So that's an example of the Grimm's fairy tale stories and so on. So this 3-year-old knows life based on what he's seeing on these fairy tale or based on what he's seeing on the cartoons he's looking at. So really describing his father in the moment of how he's punishing him, he is comparing the father to the bad things he sees in these fairy tales. So he's saying the ogre, the ogre, the giant, towers above you. In Jack and the Beanstalk, there's a giant in the sky, and the giant came down the beanstalk, and all of that drama. So he's saying the grim giant, empty of feeling. So that there is telling us that this father, the boy at this point thinks that the father doesn't care for him because he's punishing him. But as we see going on, that's not quite true. That's irony. In fact, he does care about him, and that's why he's beating him. Well, I don't want to use the word beating because some people may disagree with that. But he slapped him as a result of him wanting to teach him a lesson, right? And it goes on to talk about how he sees this fairy tale, and he says what the victim of the tale's conclusion. So he's saying that he wants to chop down this tree he's scrambling down again, referencing Jack and the Beanstalk there, right? So he's saying that because he feels so hurt by what the father did, he wishes that he can cut down this beanstalk so the father can be hurt as well, as he was obviously affected by what the father tried to do to him. So let's recap here. We see that nice metaphor there. Your laughter metamorphosed into howls. That there, we're taking it to mean metaphor. Don't worry, that big word zoomorphism. We're taking it to mean metaphor. We're saying that the boy's laughter change or is being compared to the howls of an animal, right? We see the imagery there showing us how the child felt as a result of being punished by the father, slapped by the father, and then we were seeing Grimm's fairy tale being brought into the picture there by talking about a giant and ogre and stuff like that. Oh boy, coming down to the end of this poem is just beautiful writing. It's amazing. It says what? You cannot understand, not yet. That there is talking to the boy, is shifting from the boy's view to the father probably talking to the boy or some adult talking to the boy. He says you cannot possibly understand. He's telling the boy you can't understand why your father is doing what he's doing. And it goes on to say the hurt your easy tears can scald him with. So it's as though the boy is crying, and they're trying to show us that the tears of the boy can hurt the father, and as a result of that hurt, the father can be burned. Right? So that there is showing such beautiful writing, is showing us that the father doesn't want to see the boy hurt. Right, so oh, it's good, right? I know. So he says, nor guess the wavering hidden behind the mask, telling us that probably the father is hiding his true feelings for the boy. The father is hiding his true love for the boy, right? This fierce man showing us how strong this man is or how macho this man is. This fierce man longs to lift you. And I like the word macho in the sense that it gives us the idea that a macho man doesn't necessarily engage in all emotional stuff or all loving things. So it gives us the idea that the father is not necessarily the one to feel the emotion and to be playful and so on, right? So this fierce man longs to lift you. He's saying that the man really wants to play with you, curb your sadness, wipe away your tears. And he's saying that he can do all these things with you. He can play pee back with you, bullfight, anything you want, anything is actually mentioned. But he says what? Dare not ruin the lesson you should learn. He will not wipe away your tears. He will not comfort you when you have to learn a lesson of what is proper behavior or a lesson of what you should know as a child growing up. So that is good writing, really, really is. This last line here, I think, is the most important line in the poem. He says what? You must not make a plaything of the rain. You must not make a plaything of the rain. So it's telling us literally that one should not play in the rain. So that is not probably that is the reason why the father slapped the son, because he was playing in the rain. But I will take this to also mean something of the sense that we should not take something that is supposed to be serious and make it a laughing stock. We should not rejoice around something that we should learn a great deal from. As a result, the father is saying, you must not make a plaything of the rain. You must not make a plaything of something that we can seriously learn a lesson from. Great work by Morris. I've come up with a few themes that we can use to describe this poem or to compare this poem with another poem. Childhood experience, parents, flogging, discipline, corporal punishment, fatherhood, paternal relationships. These are some of them. Anything else the teacher might have taught you can be used here. This poem is a good poem to compare with The Woman Speaks to the Man Who Has Employed Her Son. In that poem there, remember there was no father in the picture. In this poem here, the father is obviously there, and the father is the one punishing the child. The father is the one teaching the child how he should behave. And in The Woman Speaks to the Man Who Has Employed Her Son, the father was not present. As a result, the child went outside looking for that paternal relationship, looking for the person he would learn something of value from, right? So it's a good poem to make comparison, and in a subsequent video I can do a little comparison between those two poems, show you what you need to look at and what you need to know. But it's important that in this poem we must remember, or we must pay careful attention to the fact that no woman was mentioned. It's all about the father here. Good comparison again. In For My Mother, it was only the mother working double role. Not For My Mother, sorry, I'm thinking of another Lorna Goodinson poem. In the poem, the woman speaks to the man who has employed her son. There's no father mentioned, but only the mother. The mother is working the double role, while in this poem, the father is the one doing the job. Not saying that there is no mother, but the father is the one doing the job. There is no mother mentioned here, but the father again is the one doing the job. So you can look forward to that comparison between this poem and The Woman Speaks to the Man Who Has Employed Her Son by Lorna Goodison. That's all the time we have today. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed this. Go ahead and like, comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe so you can get updates on future poems. Send me an email if you wish to have any questions answered. And thank you very much for listening. Stay tuned for more on the recap. Goodbye.